Hello everyone. I hope the notification is gone out. Okay, are you there? Is anybody gotten the message already? Okay, welcome. Good evening everyone. Good evening. Good evening. You are all welcome. Wow, Bosefaya Jola is the first one today. Ibrahim Adeleke Adebowale Omolabake Dora Kike Adedamola Ludovic Volker Cecil Esther Benofore Fleur Lola Sharonke Vida Obia Ojimadu Blessings Nero Kolawale Eric Lindo Blessings Justine Natalia Valentinovna, right, Tiger Depre, Olukayode, Lola Faye, Blessing, Lua, Jonathan Opong, Butari, wow, T-Mac, T-Press, Shoninke Ture, Shima Ajoku, Anissa, Charles Smith, Olusegun, Adeleke, Beati Muller, Roxatish. Welcome everyone. Oshuko, Christian Oborji, Ayodele from Abuja, Mike Jumiot, Onihale Oluwatosin, blessings. Now, every one of us that have come in, please, will you go and share the link? Let's go share the link, please, if you don't mind. Let's go share this link. It will help somebody. Please go share the link. I'm calling on everybody that we should go and share the link, please. Go look for your share button. Go and look for your share button and let's share the link, please. Let's share the link. We're ready to go. So let's go and invite our friends and share the link. Then we'll be ready to go. The topic for today is your first step. Your first step into financial freedom. Saving. Your first step into financial freedom. Your first step into financial freedom. Savings. Savings, savings, savings. So savings is your first step into financial freedom, my friends. So we're happy to welcome you. I think this is I'm going to begin to give you the practical steps of how to come to financial freedom and how to gain your financial independence. The process is beginning full time now. So tonight is when I'm beginning to tell you step by step what you're going to do and what you can do to come out of your financial predicament and to gain. Start with saving. You must start with saving. Okay, so savings is the first thing that you must learn to do and to master if you want to ever enjoy abundance. If you want to ever enjoy financial freedom and financial liberty, you must learn to save. Saving money. You must learn to save. You must learn to save money. So, and one thing about saving is that you must make it a culture. Actually, saving is a habit. Is a habit. So you must make sure that you develop the habit of saving. You must make sure you develop the habit of saving. You know, there are good habits and there are bad habits. There are dangerous habits, and there are, beneficial habits. So saving is one of the most beneficial habits you will ever develop. So I want to encourage. I want to say, for anybody that must be financially free, he must save, and not just save when he's not rich yet, or when he's not prosperous, or when he's just starting. You must learn to save when you are starting, and because you will need to keep on saving when you already have money, and you will still need to keep on saving when you are already rich. You will still need to keep on saving when you are super, dirty rich. Everybody that must be rich, everybody that must prosper, will need to learn the art of saving, the art of saving. So, and it must be a culture. You must develop it as a culture in your own personal life, and you must develop it as a culture into your family. So the culture of saving must be something that you practice in your home. It must be something that you practice in your family. It must be something that you practice with your family members and people that you live with. It must become a culture. Just like we have a culture of praying something in our families, so also you have a culture of saving. Just like you have a culture of, personally in your own private life, you have a culture of reading the Bible, so also you have a culture of saving. If you don't have the culture of saving, you will always, forever struggle financially. Of course, saving is just the first step in financial liberty, but it's not the last step. We don't save just for saving's sake. And the goal and purpose of saving is not just to save. The goal and purpose of saving is not just to beat yourself in the chest and say, yeah, I'm saving. The goal and the purpose of saving is to later do something with it. So what do you do with it once you begin to save and you have learned to save? What you do with it is you invest. There is only one purpose for saving, and that purpose is to invest. The purpose of saving is to invest. So saving is for investment. Saving is not for bragging. Saving is not for just for it to be a culture and just keep it on your own. No, saving is for investment. I know some people who practice what they call collective saving, or societal cooperative saving, cooperative or collective saving, especially back in Africa, where I come from, in my own part of Africa, especially the Yorubas practice this a lot. That is, they come together as a team, or let's say neighbors come together, or friends, especially housewives do this a lot. They let's say we have a village. In our village, for example, we have a village of maybe 50 or 100 families. Only about 40 or 45 households, but let's say 100 families. So all the women in these families come together, the housewives come together, let's say there are 100 of them, and they come together, and the women have their women's club. And one of the main things they do in women's club is to put together some money every month. So what they do is that everybody contributes some amount of money every month. That is to say, let's say they contribute, just for the sake of illustration, let's say they contribute $100 each. So every person brings $100, and let's say there are 100 people. So there are 100 of them. So the first month, when all these 100 people bring $100 each, and if 100 people bring $100, that is 10,000. That's $10,000. So that particular month, one of the members of that community, or of that fellowship, or that cooperative, one of the team members, one of the 100, takes all the $10,000, and then they go and use it for whatever they feel like using it. Then the following month, when they all come together again, another member of that team takes the $10,000. Then, until it goes around. The only downside of that is that, some people might be the last, so you might not, because if there are 100, so it might take you like, a few years before it gets to your turn, before you collect your own your own collective offering. I mean, your collective saving. But then one of the things they really do smart, wisely in the village is if you are having an emergency, the people who are not who don't have emergency could actually let you come forward first and be the first one or one of the first ones to collect your own. But now the problem with that is that in our own culture, people who come from Nigeria, they know that I'm a Yoruba man, but within Yoruba nation itself, there are a lot of nationalities. There are a lot of nationalities in the Yoruba nation. I'm not in a hurry to mention my nationality or my ethnic group among the Yoruba nation, because almost all Nigerians, of course, all Yorubas know this. It's a kind of notorious people group that I come from. Not too many people. Not too many people respect that people group, but because they are notorious for some things. And one of the things that they are notorious for, which might not necessarily be true, which might not be the right thing. Wow, Patrick Imafidon, how are you? Nice to see you. Thank you for coming on. Well, one of the things that we are notorious, that my people group where I come from, the ethnic group is notorious for, is that they... So someone is writing the Timakti praise is mentioning my people group, my ethnicity is called Ijebu. So I'm an Ijebu man. Now, one of the things that Ijebus are, they're actually notorious for various things. One of the things they are notorious for is that they are very stingy. But and I used to be concerned about that, and I used to say, okay, why are they stingy? Maybe I need to change. I need to fight against that. But it was when I grew up that I discovered that actually it's not stinginess, because that is what they call it, in the local people call it. But what they actually had is shrewdness. Because I saw it myself. Okay, someone is saying that you cannot separate the Shepu man and money. He said you cannot separate the Ijebu man and money. Okay, someone is saying Ijebus are economical. Yes, well, one thing is that it is not that they are stingy. It is actually because they are economical. It is because they are shrewd. And it was later on that I discovered that. I didn't quite discover this on time. But it is because, it is when I was growing up and I began to see all the people around me, they are actually not stingy, but they are shrewd. They are not stingy, but they are frugal. They are not stingy, but with the local people and our neighbor Yoruba people, they sometimes we just use general terms and to criticize, and people, ethnic groups like to smile and laugh at each other, and sometimes. So this is one of the areas where they laugh at the not Yoruba people, the Ijebu people. But so this is just one area where Ijebu people are notorious. But this is not what I'm going to talk about today, about the fact that they are always with money, and they are, because of their shrewdness, they have a reputation of being hard with money, that is stingy. But that's not what I'm talking about. There are other two areas where the Ijebus are notorious for. One of the areas where where Ijebus are notorious for is in the sense that people think that Ijebu people are very strong in black magic. They are what do you call it? Diabolical. People think they are diabolical, and they are very strong. They have their feet buried in occultism. Well, that is why people get surprised. If people really know this tribe, they get surprised that someone like me, I'm an Ijebu man. How can you be an Ijebu man, a pastor? That's a very rare thing. That's a very rare thing with the Ijebu people to become gospel carriers. But there are a lot of them now. Things have changed. Maybe they used to be diabolical. Yeah, but when I was already growing up, we were going to other places now. People were going to other places to look for black magic, actually. But, things have changed. Thank God the gospel has come. But that's even not the other notorious part of Ijebus that I want to talk about. And someone has already guessed right. Kike is saying, party, yes. My people, the Ijebu people, one of the third thing they are notorious for is that they like to enjoy themselves. Oh, they like to party. I tell you that one. They like to party like crazy. They like to gyrate. They like to go to party. They can use their last money to organize a party. And they will use any reason to organize a party. They will go out and organize a party for anything. If they give birth to a child, they are organizing a party. If somebody died, they are organizing a party. If somebody went, they are organizing a party. If you got a good job, they are organizing a party. If you build a house, they are organizing a party. If you have Christmas, they are organizing a party. If you have Muslim festival, they are organizing a party. No matter what is going on, they are groovers. They are organizing a party, which is not a good thing, because it's worldliness, the spirit of worldliness, the spirit of pleasure in the flesh is so well developed in a part of the country. And when you are coming from that kind of culture, so it's still very interesting. How could they combine, pleasure in the culture, the flesh, pleasure in the flesh, and living for the flesh, and enjoying themselves and going to party? How could you combine that with stinginess? How do you combine that because when they go to parties, they spend a lot of money, and because they always have money, but so they live a life of celebration, but then they still have money. They live a life of celebration and they spend a lot of money, but then they're still shrewd for some reason. It's unbelievable for them. Unbelievable. They're still frugal despite that. Maybe that's why they needed to be frugal, because it's because they needed to be frugal because they need the money for the party, and that's why they're economizing. And anyway, well, but what I'm trying to say is that the point I'm making, you remember I told you in the beginning that they had a good tradition in Nigeria and in the part of country that I come from, the Yorubas generally, that they have collective saving. They have collective saving. So the collective saving, like I said in my own village, is that all the women, and maybe the men do that also, but I didn't grow up with men in my family. I grew up with my grandmother, and I know that she used to do that, and she taught me to do that as well. So I used to do that too. So what happened is they will come together, put like $100. 100 women will come together, put like $100 every month, and then they go around, round by round, turn by turn. Somebody is asking, is my wife an Ijebu also? No, my wife is not Ijebu. That's why they didn't want me to marry her. When my wife went to talk to her parents that she was about to marry, and as soon as they discovered that she was, I was an Ijebu person, even though we are both Yoruba, the larger Yoruba nation, they said no way. But they didn't tell her, because she was a Christian then, and I was a Christian. Even she told them he's a pastor. Even the fact that I was a pastor didn't help. They said, okay, they are going to consult with their own prophets. So they went to their own church. They have some prophet in their church, and the prophet came back and said, the guy himself is okay, but don't go to that family. Don't go to that tribe, that family, because the family is not good. Anyway, but of course, none of them want to remember that anymore.